So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the day of the eliminator of the Women's Premier League 2024 between the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Mumbai Indians. We somehow say these two teams, when they meet, it's an El Clasico when it comes to Women's Premier League. The blockbuster Smriti Mandana versus Harmanpreet Kaur. I have a special guest, Neha, for the first time. Let you know, all the viewers, she's a Royal Challengers fan, but she's going to be neutral today. She's going to speak about both the sides. Welcome to the show, Neha, for the first time. How have you just witnessed the past 20 games of the Women's Premier League? How proud are you for the girls, and how much did you enjoy this season?
Hi, Preetham. First up, thank you so much for the invite. Been a fan of the kind of work you've been putting out there. And talking about the Women's Premier League at large, it's been such a special edition, right? It has certainly gone notches above the kind of standards it set in season one. And the kind of performances we've seen this time around, be it from the domestic players or from, all the international stars, it has been nothing short of phenomenal. So in that sense, I'd say as an RCB fan, though, yes, I'm very happy my team has made it, to the eliminator. But at large, we've seen such great performances from everyone that it has been brilliant. So yeah, I'm excited that we are heading into this playoff phase, but also sad that what next? Like we'll have to wait another year for this league. But yeah, bittersweet feelings, I suppose.
Absolutely. And going to the other two teams who unfortunately got eliminated, UP Warriors and the Gujarat Giants. Once again, Gujarat Giants couldn't figure out this side, and they came in late in the tournament where the batsmen started clicking, but it was all done already. UP Warriors expected them to play better cricket because they were the team that replaced RCB last season into the eliminator. But talking about those two teams, what could have been different, especially for UP?
I mean, both Gujarat and UP had very mixed fortunes, right? I mean, UP till the last minute, we were like, hey, can they, just pull off a heist and actually
Correct.
make it to that playoffs? And Gujarat, for that matter, as well, Beth Muniz coming back and getting used to that entire setup, getting the most out of her players. The Bengaluru leg was clearly like bad for them. They lost all their four matches, but they found some groove in that Delhi leg. I thought they could actually challenge the teams and, come out on top, but that wasn't really the case. And again, they depended on certain players to click. But when we talk about UP as well, right? I think they did have some of their weaknesses when it came out to players pulling out before the tournament started. So they again
Yeah.
had to rely on this core group of players to kind of deliver. So that must have also really hurt their prospects. Nonetheless, they have positives to take. Deepti Sharma, I mean, the kind of attacking innings she's played, coming in at different positions, really shows her
Yeah.
flexibility. Beat Sophie Eccleston, but as a unit, they were not able to come together. And even the kind of experimentation that Alisa Healy did, right, with her girls. I mean, we saw Chamari being dropped, and then the up and down with the batting order and everything. Perhaps that did not work out really well for them. So I mean, in the mini auctions, I'm pretty sure they can plug their holes, by getting in a few pacers and trying to up the ante in that middle order and everything. It's not a matter of concern. They just missed out, like by a few inches here and there to make it into this eliminator. Nonetheless, I think they would be proud of the kind of campaign they've had and even the opportunities, kind of given to those domestic players. So in that sense, I'd say yeah, they can still keep their head held high.
Absolutely. And Deepti Sharma, as you mentioned before, it's a very good sign for Team India that she can bat up the order. Just like for the men's, it was always been Ravindra Jadeja doing that. You had Team Mac, I think Talia Megra didn't have the best of the season. So that could have been the reason behind they getting a downfall in the middle order. They figured out late in the tournament, just you mentioned, when they came to Delhi Lake, they figured out that they need a powerful batsman. They brought in Chamari Atapadu. We all know how much she was waiting for a contract in domestic leagues, and she got an opportunity, but not enough. And then I think the one position where UP missed out was a good pacer. And that's where I think it could have been made the difference because you have a Sophie Eccleston, you have a Deepti Sharma, you have enough spinners, but that pacer department is not something UP did not have, but Gigi had. They had somebody like a Meghna Singh, but it was their batting once again. After the top three, there was nobody clicking, and that was a story for the GG as well. Start proceedings. The thing is done. Those two teams have eliminated. Now it's the eliminator. Now it's a high voltage game at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. The winner faces the Delhi Capitals. Now we'll start proceedings with the road to the finals for the Mumbai Indians. And here it is. You have the 8 games they have won. Pretty good form. The Bengaluru leg was too good for them. They started proceedings with a wonderful opening ceremony at the first day against Delhi Capitals. Sum it up for me, they missed Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain for a couple of games, but which game did you think that by a whisker they won it or by a whisker they lost it? I'm sure you will refer to the opening game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just coming to that because in the opening game, it really looked like everything was, within control. Delhi was just going to win it, and Mumbai really had to pull out some miracle to, register a win. There comes Sajna, does her magic, final ball six. That's the kind of moments you actually live for. She's again a domestic star, so I was kind of rooting for her to, get that. But no one saw that coming, and overnight, it became
Absolutely.
such a big story and everything. So for me, I think that has to be a big takeaway from Mumbai's campaign. I even wrote an article about other chinks in Mumbai's armor. Now, when you look at the kind of season they've had, I know they've won 6 games and they've just lost the 2 games, but there were still moments where you felt. Is that overseas core actually performing? So who else is enabling this? I think that's why due credit goes to Harmanpreet, right? The kind of performances she did, especially the one versus Gujarat, right?
Yeah.
No one thought, literally no one thought Mumbai is going to win that, but her knock was just brilliant. And I think the rest, as they say, is history. So even though they've lost, those 2 matches, some of their overseas players have been slightly out of form, because again, they're all a victim of their own standards, right? You have Nat Silverbrand, Amelia Kerr, Haley Matthews, and Issy Wong coming in and out, and them just trying to figure out who else can feature it. But Shabnam as well, right? She kind of ate up that vacuum really well and got those wickets in the power play. I mean, she's such a menace, right, in that power play. So definitely, I think it's a season of highs for Mumbai, and they definitely, look to take it a notch above. I mean, look at the eliminator. They're playing against RCB, a team they just lost to, right? So definitely a lot to play there for.
They lost to at the very same venue, so that will be something to look out for. But Haley Matthews, the batsman, is a bit concerned at the top of the order, Rania.
Oh yes, yes, because her struggles have been very like surprising, right? Because we have seen how she's come really good. The last season she was your MVP, and even in that series versus Australia, like single-handedly, carrying her West Indies team. But come the Women's Premier League, somewhere she's missing that sheen, of last season. And
Yeah,
again, you can't expect a player to repeat, same performances across editions. But I
correct.
think it's her struggle against spin, right? That has come under the scanner. The strike rate really goes low, and that kind of also puts pressure on her fellow opening batters, be it Yastika Bhatia. In this case, we saw the partner in Sajna also being
Yeah.
experimented with, and they kind of go for the ill shot. So it just puts a lot of pressure on the upcoming batters as well. She's come good, not giving her due credit, like a couple of cameos here and there. But I think her consistency has kind of trickled down even in the batting order, which you will also reflect on. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the Delhi leg, they are continuing to playing in the same venue. Uh, wins and 2 losses, so not that good for the Mumbai Indians. So, do you think moving on to such a high voltage game where it's eliminator, you win, you proceed, you lose, you get out of the contest? Do you think that Mumbai will try and keep things simple, or is it that added pressure of losing to the same side in the previous game will put them on their shoulders?
I mean, ideally, Mumbai would want to keep things simple, Although they don't have their overseas core quite firing now, they're just blowing hot and cold. They still depend on their Indian core to deliver. I mean, just look at the Indian players in the team, right? You
Yeah,
have skipper Harmanpreet Kaur. Every single time she dons that Mumbai Indians jersey, she's an entirely different player, so to say, So her performances are going to be important. And if the opposition, gets her wicket, then it's pretty much, game set match there. Then you also have the likes of Amanjot Kaur, Pooja Vastakar, Saika Ishak, they're all coming to their own. And I believe even Yastika
and
Bhatia will be
Yastika
joining.
Bhatia. Yeah, correct.
Yes, yes. So she'll be joining in, and she adds that much needed impetus right at the top of the order. So in that sense, even though the overseas core is not really performing, they'd expect this Indian core to kind of come through. And I'm quite confident, that they won't let these losses weigh on them. They're a champion team, right? They have a brilliant support staff. You have Charlotte Edwards, you have Jhulan
That's
Goswami. They
not a
would
problem. Yeah.
instill so much confidence in the girls, and I don't think they let these losses kind of play in their mind. But even for RCB, right, winning that match against Mumbai, a team they have not defeated. So Mumbai will be thinking, "Arey, what did we do wrong that we lost to RCB, a team we have always kind of had the upper edge on." Yeah.
So there's already a 1-1 against each other because RCB lost at Bengaluru while RCB defeated them at Delhi. We now move on to the RCB leg now, and this is the 8 matches they played. So, but they were pretty good in the Bengaluru sector. The 1-2 started off well, but then you move on to the remaining 2 where they lost. But in at Delhi they were decent. You being an RCB fan, RCB fan, so far the performance. Have you been pleased? Have you been disappointed? Have you been like, okay, chalo, somehow we have made it to the eliminator?
In all honesty, Preetham, I'm very happy from an RCB POV that we've at least made it to the eliminator. It's a up from the last season, right? I mean, most of our Indian players were so woefully out of form. Be it Renuka, be it Richa, be it Smriti, they were just not getting those runs. I know this season we were rocked early on, with the loss of Kanika Ahuja, but I still feel the team has made the most of the resources.
Yeah,
And I think primary reason has to be Smriti Mandana, kind of coming back to form, scoring those crucial runs. She's led from the front. A lot of people, have put her captaincy under the scanner, especially in the games we lost. But that's again, a very subjective thing, right? Like captaincy. Now, some people don't like it, but some strategies you really appreciate. So when you look at
yeah,
RCB's campaign as well, they have won 4 matches and lost four. The matches they lost were like ones, which really came close. I'm pretty sure you know the loss I'm referring to versus Delhi, that
correct. Yeah,
one run loss. As an RCB fan, it stung. As a women's cricket fan, you're just like, although Delhi won, you still feel bad for those girls. And I think the biggest positive again has to be the performances of Richa Ghosh, right?
yeah.
Man, the number of cameos and knocks she has produced to help RCB reach where they are, hats off. Elise Perry, with that 6-4 and everything, right? So I think it's a concoction of all of these players and their performances coming good for RCB that has helped our fortunes, even though it might be, 4 matches won, 4 matches lost, but still a lot to take away, I think, going ahead.
Absolutely, and like you said about the overseas quota and the Mumbai leg. Similarly, for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, you just mentioned Elise Perry, who took a six for phenomenal previous game versus Mumbai Indians. But as a whole, Sophie Devine, a little bit of concern for her with the ball, with the bat as well. She's demoted herself into the middle order as well. What would your think tank say? Get her back up to the top of the order, but Sophie is batting well. Sophie Molinic. So what could be your think tank? Sophie Devine at number 4 is okay, but what changes or what confidence is she lacking?
I mean, with Sophie Devine, again, she's a high risk, high reward player. We've seen her go berserk. Last season, we saw that knock of 99 versus the
Yeah,
hapless Gujarat side. On days when she comes good, there's no stopping her. But this season, we haven't really seen the best of her. And that's perhaps the decision to, kind of push her back in that middle order to add some stability there, get S. Meghna back up. But even this whole move of kind of getting Sophie Molyneux up was a perplexing one, I'd say. It could probably be, in hindsight, I mean, most of us were just trying to analyze that it could probably be to preserve the other batters coming in later on so she can give you a good start, anchor that innings. But if S. Meghna's kind of playing a similar esque sort of thing, why do you need a Sophie Molyneux there? So that was
yeah,
like a big cause for concern. And for me, in an ideal case scenario, I'd still have, Sophie Devine open with Smith, let's just use her the entire season at the top of the order. In middle order, mein bahut log hai, you have a lot of candidates. You have Disha Kasat, who's kind of come in now. You have also experienced people in that middle order. So from my POV, I'd want Sophie right at the top of the order, and probably the other batters right in the position they are, and Sophie Molyneux probably coming in later.
and because Sophie Devine adds you a lefty righty combination at the top of the order. That's even a
Exactly.
crucial point which you mentioned, having Sophie Devine at the top. I don't think so. Bangalore will change their combination as of now because things are working out. They've just defeated the same team they're going to face today, so I don't think they are going to change much things. This sums it up for the Bangalore leg as well, and the Delhi leg for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Same question for you as well. Delhi leg as well. Bangalore won only two and lost two. Do you think that just because they're just defeated Mumbai Indians, they will be the team a little bit favorites in terms of having the confidence?
Again, in an ideal case scenario, I would say yes, because RCB would be riding high on that confidence. But Mumbai is one team you will just write off at your own peril, right? They always come back so strong, and this is a team, right? They've always had the advantage on like RCB. So I wouldn't say that RCB has an advantage. I mean, psychological advantage, yes, because of the nature of the victory. But I think they can't. RCB cannot take things very complacently. You have to
Yeah,
still get up, put in those hard yards, and ensure the toss kind of goes in your favor, or you just put up
correct.
those performances if you're batting first or bowling first, whatever. But Mumbai Indians is one thing you cannot take lightly, and for RCB this is a new scenario, right? Knockout situation in the Delhi
Yeah,
leg, where you've kind of had these mixed fortunes, and I think so I'm sure they won't take things for granted. But I think the team also as a whole needs to come together, right? So that
yeah,
is going to be imperative.
absolutely. And this sums it up for the Royal Challenge Bangalore as well. Now bringing you to the two captains here in place. Harmanpreet Kaur unfortunately mixed a couple of games due to injury. But as a whole, how impressed are you with the Indian captain, probably India's vice captain as well out here? So in terms of leadership, how impressed are you this season for both of them?
Yeah, I mean, talking about Harmanpreet Kaur, she is our Indian skipper as well. Always believed in the kind of work ethic and the strategies and everything she has. I know, people always talk about that whole Bangladesh series where she had that whole
Correct. Yeah.
aggressive. Barring that, she's still such a successful captain, right? Always made the best of her resources, gets the best out of her youngsters, and I feel her role is quite similar when you look at that even in the Mumbai Indians setup. And because here she's contributing from the front, there are no questions asked, and even the strategies and the way she's able to marshal her troops is brilliant. So with Harmanpreet Kaur, even though she missed a couple of matches, with Nat Silverbrandt, as her deputy, I was like, "Ha, theek hai." But then Harmanpreet Kaur as a skipper is a whole vibe. She just brings that value addition to the setup. So I think that definitely going to persist with her going ahead as well, and she understands her players really well. Coming to
Yeah.
Smriti Mandana, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Continue.
yeah, and coming to Smriti Mandana as well. Now, the first season clearly gave us glimpses of some cracks and a lot of scrutiny on her captaincy. But I think again she's come really strong, right? This season with the kind of team that RCB has had, she's again made the most of the resources. Some decisions
Yeah.
were questionable. Field setting could have been a little better. But again, she's a growing captain. Like she still has
Yeah.
a lot to learn. It will be important to see how she's nurtured in the Indian setup as well. But nonetheless, all the players have spoken very highly of Smriti, the captain. And for her luck, she has a lot of overseas players, who come in with that captaincy experience. So I'm pretty sure that experience also rubs off on her. But Smriti Mandhana captain, as a captain, is certainly an exciting prospect. Going ahead, also we need someone as a
Yeah.
successor, right, for Harmanpreet. So yeah, Smriti Mandhana is our go-to candidate, perhaps.
Absolutely. And when it comes to runs for both of them, quite similar, close enough. But Smithy, just because she's an opener, and also she played a couple of games more, so she has more runs. But prediction time today, who do you think will have more runs on the board for between these two captains?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I think it's probably going to be Harmanpreet Kaur because she's really in that form, and Smriti in the Delhi leg has been slightly quiet. Again, a victim of her standards. We saw her play so well in that
Yeah.
Bangalore leg that coming to the Delhi leg, we took it for granted. Yeah, she will though definitely score runs. So she's struggled a little against off spin. I think struggles which have been spoken about so much. So as
Yeah.
much as it hurts me to say this, I really think Harmanpreet has the potential to be the highest run getter today.
Okay, really like your honesty. We'll come to who will win later. That's in the later part of the session. But coming to the Arun Jaitley Stadium, as we have spoken about, here comes the pitch, and the pitch is always known that recently we have seen the pitch is getting slower. No questions about that, just because so many games have been taking place. But when it comes to these two teams, batting first, Mumbai has lost all three games out of four, and batting first, RCB has lost only one game. So I think RCB prefers defending targets, while it comes to Mumbai Indians, they prefer chasing targets. So when it comes to toss, do you think that the captain winning the toss, if Mumbai elects to bowl first, RCB will not be disappointed?
I mean, I think RCB will have their struggles batting first, right? I think in the last match, RCB won the toss and they chose to bowl first. They thought, let the opposition, get those runs and we will chase them down versus
But
us
who would
batting
have
first.
thought? But I think who would have thought Elise Perry will bring that kind of a spell, though.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, running on that high, I think the team winning the toss would want to bowl first just to be on the safer side. So हम कुछ भी target chase कर लेंगे. I think that could also be the mindset. But looking at the Delhi leg and the matches we've seen so far, teams are able to defend their 130s, 140s, and everything. So I think yeah, we'll have to see how the conditions kind of play out and which pitch they choose. Because you've seen
Yeah,
different matches, different pitches, and everything.
correct.
But either case, yeah, we're in for an exciting encounter.
I really hope that they choose a higher run scoring pitch, because I
Exactly.
don't want a low scoring one, because both teams have a lot of batting in their depth. So here comes a question, by the way, for you, Neha. Says it comes that can Harmanpreet Kaur continue her consistency with the bat, not just in the WPL, but we recently have a World Cup as well for Team India. When it comes to this one, do you think that Harmanpreet Kaur can continue the way she's batting?
Definitely. I think she has all the potential and has time and again shown us that capacity as well, right? But again, when we saw the last edition of the Women's Premier League, brilliant form, she just wasn't able to continue that vein of form onto the, India leg of things, which was kind of unfortunate. So I hope this time around she can prove us wrong. We have the Bangladesh series, we have the Asia Cup and the World Cup that's, eventually coming. So a couple of very important assignments for her as a captain as well. Because the Australia series we saw, she had such poor returns, and many people questioned her place. But I think the Women's Premier League kind of, again,
Yeah,
silenced all those critics. So for her,
critics,
carrying that
absolutely.
consistency with the bat will be important. And I think performances in the Women's Premier League has set her up well. So yeah.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the key players for both these sides, where RCB and Mumbai Indians, I've chosen these three players, which is Smriti Mandana, Nat Brunt, and Shabnam Ismail. We have spoken about these three players. For Mumbai, for Bangalore, it is Smriti Mandana, Elise Perry, and Asha Shovana. She has come out well this season, I think, Asha, when it comes to leg spin. As a whole, do you have any changes when it comes to any other player expecting big in the Eliminator?
Yeah, I mean, good choices here, Preetham. But I think for RCB, in place of Asha Shobna, I'd go with Shriyanka Patil, because Asha
Okay.
Shobna as well, the kind of wickets she's got, it's mostly been against UP Warriors, and then we see that kind of inconsistency creep in. But with Shriyanka as well, I know people will contend with this point that she had a very poor Bengaluru leg, but I was hoping for her to come good in the Delhi leg, and she actually did. So this is an opposition,
Yeah.
versus Mumbai that kind of brings the best out of her. So I'd still want to probably, keep Shriyanka as one of those key players to definitely
Okay.
watch out for. Can even challenge the Mumbai Indians batters. Yeah.
And even Shabnam Ismail with the new ball, how threatening is she against the likes of Smriti Mandana? You have, for example, Sophie Mullins opening. Then you have the following batsmen as well. She can swing the ball both ways.
Oh my God, she has been an absolute, I can't even say revelation, because we've seen her do this time and again in international cricket. But in the Women's Premier League, wow, she's just been so good, because most of the conditions really seem, like spinner friendly, that kind of, suits them. Yet she has made a mark for herself, right? The power play,
Yeah.
the kind of wicket she gets, the dot ball she's able to generate. She's also one of your more economical bowlers, right? An
Yep.
absolute value addition to the Mumbai Indians setup. A lot of people question, why would they go for Shabnam Ismail when they already had a set bowling lineup? But with Issy Wong's, bad form and everything, it was an amazing choice to go with Shabnam Ismail. And her retirement from international cricket has also kept her fresh, right? For this
Yeah.
Women's Premier League. So I think she's just been really menacing with the ball. That has actually helped Mumbai's fortunes.
Okay, so that sums it up because yes, you summed these six players well. You wanted Shriyanka Patil instead of Asha Shomana. We'll see what happens today. When it comes to the predicted playing 11 for both these sides, we start with the Mumbai Indians just because they have qualified ahead of the Royal Challengers Bangalore. I think they will not make any changes when it comes to the set 11. But yeah, Gurpalji has a point for you. He says that time to hand over debut to Tanuja and Sanjana. I think Sanjana will definitely play. Tanuja will come later on the innings. But when it comes to these players, pretty balanced side. But when it comes to the bowling department, a little bit of more responsibility needs to be taken from Saika.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, last season, we saw her amongst the wickets, 15 wickets, and she was
Yeah.
in that running for the purple cap and everything. But somewhere in the latter half, she started tapering off. Then the whole domestic season happened, India debut, and now she's back in this season. Again, we saw kind of mixed fortunes for her. I think she has like what, 7 wickets or so. She has been that go-to bowler for Harmanpreet. So I'm pretty sure, she would also look to come good against RCB and kind of, stop the run getters from getting runs. But Saika Ishak, yeah, she's made a good mark for herself and would look to carry on with that form, I suppose.
But behind the scenes, I think you might be wondering that I don't want Saika to perform well today so that RCB moves on to the finals. But Gurpalji has a question: is that Delhi pitch might play a key role? It's about handling pressure. Him being a Mumbai Indians fan, he wants Matthews and Nat Brand to come out big, even Emilia Kar, I'm so sorry. What's your take on this one? What kind of a reply could you give it to him that no, RCB is strong enough?
I mean, from I'll talk from a Mumbai POV. You definitely want your star players like Hayley Matthews, Nat Silverbrandt, and Amelia Kerr to come good, right? These are not just unidimensional players; they are a multidimensional
Yeah,
all-rounders. They contribute with the bat and the ball. And this season, we haven't seen the best of them, so they would look to kind of just get out of that rut and actually perform. Because going ahead too, right? They have national duties. Australia plays Bangladesh, England plays New Zealand. So carrying on that form would be imperative, and making the most of the subcontinent conditions as well, right? Because you have the World Cup that's happening in
yeah,
Bangladesh, quite similar conditions to India as well. So these players would want to come strong. I think from an RCB POV, because these players are not in form, you'd want to get them out early anyways, because the more time you let them settle in, they will, come good and they have potential to take the match away. And I hope Nat Silverbrandt has, kind of left the trauma of last match aside, because, she dropped a lot of catches. She was just not at
yeah.
her best. And mind you, she's one of your top-notch quality all-rounders in world cricket. After Marizan Cup and
Yeah.
everyone. So in that sense, yeah, I think these all-rounders would want to, actually come good and be of some value to Mumbai today.
No changes for the Mumbai Indians playing 11 according to you.
No, no, I think they look all sorted.
Okay, and coming to your team, which is the Royal Challengers Bangalore, no changes once again, but you continue to see Sophie batting at the top of the order, with Sophie Divine batting at number four.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of combination that RCB would want to go with, right? Because now there's no point in tinkering with the combination. And if you put Sophie Devine in the middle order, a position she kind of bats even for the White Ferns at is in the middle order. So I think it's pretty much okay to have her here. Adds a lot of stability with the bat in the middle order as well, because new ball, she does have her struggles against pace and hasn't really come good. But what I find very interesting in this playing 11 combination is the inclusion of S. Meghna, right?
Yeah,
So I'm just seeing, how she fits in my scheme of things. Strike rate has been a big concern, right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, how do we,
Okay.
like slot her out and, probably have
Uh,
someone like a
I,
Disha.
I, I could. Yes, yes, you can go ahead. You wanted Disha Kasad in place of her?
Yeah, I was thinking of her because in the game, yeah, in one of the games where Disha actually played, that is the Delhi game. We didn't really get to see a lot of her. Again, a lot of people will contend that in domestic cricket her strike rate is a little bit of a concern. But with S Meghna kind of coming under the scanner for her strike rate so much, I'd still want to go ahead with Disha. Considering she did not get a lot of game time, so probably that would be like the one change.
Only change. Okay, the only change for you. But yes, we were just discussing about her. And here comes the question: how important is Sophie Devine's all-round performance in such a crunch game for RCB?
Definitely. It's going to be very, very important. Sophie Devine, of course, has contributed a lot with the ball this season, right? Be it those crucial wickets we needed. But her performances with the bat has left a lot, to desire. I hope this match can, see that change in fortunes against Mumbai Indian side. That will, of course, present its challenges, but the hope will be for her to kind of come good. So, yeah, clutch players in a crunch match, you'd want to see performances like that.
Absolutely, and bank on the overseas players. All the four overseas have been pretty much decent for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, so they have to come out big
Yes.
in such an important game. And moving on to the final slide, here's a quick fire question. I think you will definitely know this, but still, it is Mumbai Indians played the Women's Premier League Eliminator last season as well. Who was the opponent and who was the man of the match in that game? If you can answer me.
I'm so bad with quizzes, but I believe the opponent was, I think, UP Warriors, and I don't remember who the player of the match in that was, but was it Nat Silverbrand or was it Haley Matthews? Yeah, one of them.
You have to give one answer. Let's see. Guess one, and then
Yeah,
we'll
let's
see.
just guess one. I think I'd still go with a safe bet of Haley Matthews, MVP TR last season, huh?
So you go with an Haley Matthews. So Gurpalji has given his answer as well. So you're going with the UP Warriors and Haley Matthews as your picks. Let's see the
Lock here,
answer.
Chad. Hmm.
Lock here, Jai. Let's see the answer. The answer is
Ah, that's Silverbrand.
you just here and there. It was the UP
Yes, yes.
Warriors. So Gurpalji has said it correct, but he was unsure as well. He went to then either Nat or Matthews. So no, Gurpalji, it was Nat Sivabrand who was the MVP in that game, and it
Yes,
was
yes,
UP
yes.
versus Mumbai, where Mumbai defeated and went to face Delhi Capitals. So Delhi Capitals once again sitting at the top of the table into the finals. Predictions time, Neha. Being an RCB fan in such a high voltage game, where do you think the pendulum is swinging? Is it red or is it blue?
I mean, in all honesty, it's really difficult to say now, but I think somewhere Mumbai still has that advantage because they have gotten the better of RCB on so many occasions, and it's really difficult to write them off. So I still think Mumbai is going to win this, and I'm going to cry after the match. After the match, just be like RCB lost again, and then carry on all my hopes to the IPL, which a discussion we will have later. But I really think Mumbai does have that slight advantage, as much as it pains to say.
Okay, so you're going for a Mumbai Indians slight favorites in such a high voltage
Slight.
game. Thank you so much, Neha. It was the conclusion of the show. It was wonderful having you. You were brilliant speaking as a neutral about both these games. But I wish you all the best for this game as well. Thank you to all the viewers as well. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire and press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.
Bye.